Jim and James, Disc Golf Collective. Got Justice and Matt here today. Stadium Pudding Party. What's up, guys?
Hey guys. Well, we got Matt and Justice here today. We're going to be talking about the Stadium Field Putting Party. It's coming up next weekend, next Saturday.
Saturday, June 5th.
Do you know when the registration ends?
We have registration set up to go all the way up into the
Till the
to
day
the
of?
night of, and then we can
Okay.
register at the event.
Sweet.
Trying to
Good.
do as much beforehand as possible, but
Yeah, that seems smart these days for
Yeah.
sure. All
Absolutely.
right. Well, I know a lot of tournaments these days like a lot of times they just fill up, the second they go on.
Yeah.
Obviously they're way bigger tournaments,
Oh,
right.
C tiers, B tiers, whatever.
It's hard to get on some of them right now.
It is really hard.
They're like, hey, opens this date 2 days later, full 120
yeah.
people.
I've seen some in Washington 15 minutes. If
Oh
you're
my
not if you're not
goodness.
signed on ready to click buy, you're not getting in.
That's insane.
Broke
And
open
then-
last night, and it's 90 players, and it's 88 already.
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah. And
That's
some
awesome,
of
though.
them they'll have like a 20-person waiting list in 15
Mhm.
minutes and you're like, how in the world,
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's blown up for
Right.
sure. It is
It's
definitely
awesome.
blown
It's
up.
awesome to see that.
I heard somewhere someone wrote that they had done a bunch of math and figured that it is growing at at 200% a year right now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like no sport has ever done that. Although Jacob was telling me that what is that called? Cornhole is growing almost the
gosh,
same.
yeah.
speed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I'm like, it's crazy. It's on TV now.
Oh, yeah, you flip
I'm like,
through
that's
ESPN, you'll
crazy.
see those national championships. And
Yeah.
it's like,
How
there's a
is there
league.
more cornhole on TV than disc golf?
So you
It's crazy.
watch ESPN on 4th of July. It'll go from the hot dog eating contest
Yeah.
to the cornhole contest.
Oh,
you know,
my
it's
goodness.
great.
I mean, with cornhole,
crazy.
you can hold a beanbag in one hand and a beer in the other hand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's casual. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's what beat
It's
us,
a
I
captive
guess.
sport. They're
We
not
can-
moving around.
We can casually
you
do
know?
a lot of things, but you can just stand and flip,
Yeah.
flip. So you can't do too much
That is
about
a
that.
good point. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense why it's growing so fast. It's funny. I was always thinking like, well, disc golf is probably the sport of the future. There's no running, no jumping. You can just sit, walk down the fairway talking to your friends. Super social. But maybe it's cornhole. Maybe I was wrong.
Do both, cornhole.
Well, you don't even have to
cornhole
walk.
night.
You just walk to the other side and cornhole.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Unless you're playing partners, I think you just stay in your spot.
Yep,
Don't you?
don't even move.
You can't beat that. Oh Lord. Well,
Stadium Pudding
yeah.
Party.
So for your tournament so far, how many did you say you have signed up?
But I'm up to 34 right now.
And
right
how many
there.
spots
And
available?
We have 90 spots, and that's
Okay.
we have an 18 hole course set up, and
Nice.
90 spots will be 5 people on a card
So
for 18 holes.
full holes this
Yeah,
time?
yeah. So
Yes.
last time we did it,
Oh,
we did
yeah,
9
nine,
holes
yeah.
inside the stadium,
Okay.
and we had it. You just
Everything's
played
up
through
here.
twice, and then we took a break for lunch, and then played
Right.
through a different setup twice.
Right.
But this time we went around, and we have
You put it out in the field.
Yeah,
too.
we went
were
all the way
asking-
around
we
the
were
front of the
talking about
building.
that. Yeah,
Those two
nice.
fields are utilizing basically
Nice.
some of this. There's existing track and baseball stuff around there, but based on all that, we kind of worked in some obstacles and
Awesome.
different parts to be able to.
So
Well,
fun.
I'd love to
right?
hear that.
yeah. So they call the middle there. The middle field is the horseshoe.
Yeah.
And so we have a couple of them in the horseshoe, and then this field here on the bottom left.
Yeah.
But the top field we're not allowed to use because there's an SAT going on inside the building that day. So we
Oh.
got to avoid that little section of the building. But
Got you.
So bottom line is we got business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Heck
yeah, so we
Putters only.
putters only.
Putters only.
Now, there is
can
a-
You, can you bring a harp?
I know.
You can bring a harp.
We
said
Remember
harps are good
Speed
this time.
4 and putt and approach. Harp says mid-range putt and approach
Somebody
on
told
it.
me that
So
those were legal one
that's
time.
what we.
We used them last time.
I don't
you
know where
just
you
didn't
would've
bring
heard
yours.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I left mine at home.
Jim's just kicking himself that last time.
I know.
The only exception, though, like Justin started to say, we've got it set up to where everything's going to be 4-speed or putt and approach. That way, and that's the other thing with the 5 people possible per car. It's like, all right, we know it's going to move quick and all those things,
Right.
but as part of the players pack, everybody's going to get. I believe it's an M model OS is what, or it's actually an M model S from Prodigy. Prodigy donated some enough for everybody that would register. So the only exception is going to be that you can use that, which is actually a 5 or 6 speed mid range disc. So
Yeah.
that's going to be the only exception to all of it. So that's one thing as a kind of generous thing. Obviously, most of us play a lot. We're not going to have a feel for this. We're not necessarily going to go do it. But a lot of the beginners and everybody, we'd hope to get to come and play the event.
Yeah.
It's going to be really nice to be able to give that option. Like, hey, you have a disc that may go further for you to help you out a little bit. So
All right.
Yeah, so I was in the process of setting the whole thing up. I, did what I did last time. Just started reaching out to as many companies as I could, and I tried to stay as local as possible. But then, it never hurts to ask the big companies what we could get.
Yeah.
And so, with Julian being sponsored by Prodigy, actually, I reached out to Prodigy, and I'm like, hey, we're doing this for Julian and his girlfriend. Like, what, could you do anything for us?
Awesome. Yeah.
And the rep that works directly with him was like, dude, yeah, I want to help you out. And so he
super
asked what we wanted, and I said, well, we're trying to get as many people as we can. We could do a player pack, we could do just a big prize, whatever. And he said, I'll send you something.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I'm getting an email for 100 mid-range discs given to me for free.
Wow.
They're X-outs because they were misprints or whatever,
Perfect.
but he sent 100 of them to us for free.
Yeah.
So we
That
said,
is
we're going to
super
take
cool.
that and just
Yeah.
everybody gets one as they sign up.
Yeah.
That box showed up on my front porch and it was heavy. I was not ready for
Yeah.
that, but
Right.
yeah,
That
I
is
was
super
I was
cool.
excited.
And so, where did you get these donations? These donations
I'd
to?
say
Yeah,
the-
so I reached out to just about every main big disc golf company, and Discmania.
This one's really
I just
funny.
happened to be sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to Discmania. I mean,
Yeah,
they
why not?
they gave us I think a T-shirt last time or something.
Wow.
And so I asked them about it, and I gave the whole spiel of what's going on. And I have this email, and they sent back a message.
I was gonna pull it up real quick because it's just funny to read
Yeah.
the message
good
exactly
idea.
the way they
Yeah.
put it. And he's like, "What are you talking about?" But you go ahead and talk about it for a second.
Yeah, so they said what are you doing? They asked almost the same questions Prodigy did, and I said, well, I mean, we're doing 50-50 drawings, we're doing all this stuff, and they said, okay, we'll send you something.
All right, Justice. This is what Discmania rep said directly. All right, Justice, we've got that headed your way. If you've got some people that are knowledgeable about what Discmania discs are on the rarer or more desirable side of things, a few of these could be fought over in a raffle. Be sure to spread them out. At least a couple of them could fetch a pretty penny on their own. So we're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, so
literally
I-
no lead on, no clue what it could be.
Yeah, I mean, they gave me
Right.
nothing. Like at
Wow.
least Prodigy gave me an order form of what I was getting for free, and
Right.
this box shows up on my door two days later,
Oh wow.
and I had just talked to Matt, I think, and I open up the box, and the first thing I see is
I
not
was
that
on the way
one.
back from the tournament
was
that night.
the-
You're like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
the Discmania order came in?
This one here is
Oh, wow.
it's a Simon Lizotte signed disc,
Jeez.
and I pulled that out. I'm like, holy crap, that's awesome.
Right.
And then I pulled that one out, and the very next one I see is the one before that. It was the tilt,
Yeah.
and I looked at that, and I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure I know what this
I'm
is.
surprised that one's not signed.
So I
'cause if it
called
was,
Matt.
whew.
Yeah, I called Matt. He doesn't answer. He's on his way back from Cincinnati, I think. And so I pick up
From
the
a
phone
disc
and
golf tournament,
Yeah.
I'm keeping it going the sport.
Right.
I call my buddy Logan. I'm like, hey, Logan, you're never going to believe what I just got. And so I switched over to FaceTime. And I'm
Yeah.
like, check out this signed disc. He's like, oh, that's awesome. That thing's worth like $100.
Yeah.
He's like, oh. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
At
And I
least,
said,
yeah.
I'm not quite sure what this one's worth. And I pull the next one out, and he's like, dude, you don't even have any idea.
Yeah.
Went and looked it up, and a used one was on eBay right now for like $350.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Incredible.
They're going for crazy amounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they just gave it to
We
me.
talked
So-
about the one that Simon signed one. It went for like 5,600 or something.
Oh my
Holy
God.
crap.
Yeah. He just was like,
he spilled ink on it.
yeah. He was trying.
You
Yeah.
ever see that video?
Oh man. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he's signing it in his car, and he pulls the cap off, and it drops stuff all over
He
it.
pulls the pen apart, and the ink just blots
All across
right
the
over
tilt?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the front of it. And the guy still bought it off.
Oh yeah, he was super happy too.
I mean,
the-
yeah, that's pretty crazy.
The funniest part about the tilt, I don't know for most people know stuff about the disc golf is, and they showed it. Anybody watch LVC where Eagle McMahon? He's coming up to 18th hole.
Yeah.
He literally, it's a disc that everybody raves about the fact you can throw it further upside down
Yeah.
than you can normal. He literally is like, yeah, I'm gonna show off. I got a multi-stroke lead. He chucks that thing upside down, parks it, 15 feet. You're just
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, so that's decent. Incredible.
Yeah, that disc is ridiculous. I was throwing a shot where I pretty much had to throw it like straight up and down and still get it to go back right on a forehand, and
So it's one
I
of those,
had to I had to throw my Nuke OS because that's all I have, you
Yeah.
know, which I had to tilt that down, which made it a way harder shot.
Yeah.
I was thinking, man, if I'd have had one of those.
Tilt it, just dump right in
so
there.
Yeah.
I've seen videos and I've talked to people and they said it's great. I'd love to throw it, but
Yeah.
not throwing that one.
I'm afraid
No.
to touch it. It's like,
Yeah, I pulled
Yeah.
that thing out, and the signed one was in like a plastic sleeve,
Yeah.
and that one wasn't. And I'm like,
Wow. Yeah.
what the heck? I don't want that in the
Carefully
sleeve.
put
Yeah, for sure. There was something else on those pictures. I thought, Jim, I wanted. Oh, the trophies. Who makes your trophies?
So I try to do as much as I can to incorporate Parkersburg High School, as because that's I teach there.
Right.
That's where I went to school, so
Water,
I love
baby.
it. Yeah, we both graduated from there, so we actually have a wood shop class at the school, and they make all kinds of stuff for like the seniors make these things,
That's
and
too
so I
cool.
went down to the teacher and I'm like, hey, what can you do for us? And last time he actually made me like big square plaques.
Yeah, I
Matt and I
have
were-
one.
Yeah,
It's out
Matt and I
there.
were talking about it, and we're like, how cool would it be if it was circular, like a disc?
Yeah.
And so I went and asked him, and he's like, yeah, sure.
That's easy cut out,
And-
but then
So we used almost the same idea as last time. So we got first and second
Great.
place in each division,
Yeah,
and then
those are sweet.
that was actually a laser engraver.
yeah, he's got a
Oh,
laser
wow.
engraver. He does the whole thing, and
Yeah.
he just charged me for lumber, and that was it.
I
So-
thought he was gonna send me a picture of like where it's like hand just first place, it's something
Yeah.
small written. And he says, I'm like, oh, so that's the exact image. And I was like, they got laser. He's like, oh yeah, they got it. I was like,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man.
yeah,
So,
it was sweet.
That is really sweet.
yeah.
And I mean, he was more than happy to do it. I think he had some of the students help out as like extra credit type stuff. So,
Nice.
and then
That's pretty awesome. I love that. Well, I'm always about local too.
Mhm.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Definitely try to buy all that stuff local.
Absolutely.
and keeping it with the doing stuff for the high school.
Yeah.
We're doing the mulligan thing again this
Oh
year.
yeah,
So
sweet. I forgot about
on
that.
the
Yeah.
flyer there, it says you bring in a list of stuff that's at the bottom of the flyer.
Okay.
There's items to be donated down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Let me
all
read
those
things.
real quick.
Vienna,
Vienna
sausages.
sausage, mac and cheese, granola bars, canned ravioli, pudding cups, fruit canned or single cups, peanut butter crackers, cheese crackers, spaghetti or spaghetti sauce.
So we have the food pantry at the school, and
Yeah.
people that come from
And did they send that list to you? Is that what
yeah,
they're looking for? Okay.
So the
Nice.
school nurse is in charge of it, and I went down to her and I said, hey, we're doing this again. Like, what do
Yeah.
you need? And I know for a while we really needed hygiene stuff, and so I
Right.
asked her, and she's like, there was an event like 2 weeks ago. They kind of did the same thing, and now we are just over full of
Yeah.
hygiene.
Nice.
And she said this is the stuff that they get rid of the
Yeah.
quickest.
And it's not and again, most of your donation stuff, food pantries, all like non-liquid or non-perishable items, things like that. I mean, like I said, this is a high school food pantry for kids in the area, so like they know, hey, we want to be nutritious with some parts of it, but obviously it's specific items that we move through and definitely kind of keep being able to give it back. And so that's like I said, it's kind of a specific list versus your
Yeah,
plain
yeah.
like bland one. But like I said, it's
That makes sense.
and the donation is going to be in Jessica's name, as thanks to as the school for using the facilities. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing it. You can bring up to 10 items for 10 mulligans.
Yeah.
Mulligans only count as tee shots, though. We're not. I think we're gonna switch it up than last time because
Yeah.
I've played in a couple tournaments where
You
you
sit there and putt 6 times.
you miss your
I got
putt.
four
You just
more.
I got
I
6
did
more
last
mulligans.
time.
I'm just gonna yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do tee shots 'cause I think tee shots are gonna be where most people are gonna mess up anyway.
Yeah.
We
I like that.
we
that
made
makes
this
it a little
course
more challenging.
We made this course a little more challenging than last time.
Yeah.
Nice.
We got some islands. We got some really punishing holes.
Yeah. So if you take a mulligan, do you have to keep it?
Yes.
Oh, love that too.
Yes.
That makes it like you're getting another free shot, but it's not like it's
Right.
not guaranteed to be better.
Right.
I love
and
that.
then if
yeah.
And
you mess
also-
that up and you still
Yeah.
got another mulligan,
Yeah.
do it again.
Just throw all your mulligans at
keep that flow
first
so
hole.
someone doesn't do like 4 mulligans and then be like, well, which one do I want to take?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
hey, you
Just-
throw it again, you're taking that one. You throw it,
Uh-huh.
you take that one. But
Well, and if you let them pick, it would take forever.
Oh,
to
absolutely,
pick,
yeah.
so,
Especially if they're different spots, they got to
Right.
walk from
Yeah.
one to the other to
And
take
check,
a look
oh,
at
I
it.
like this look.
like
Yeah.
a
yeah.
doubles look.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
But the one thing too, and I think even feedback from different people we had in general, one of the things when it comes to how the layout was reconfigured a little bit within the stadium, we tried to incorporate. We put disclaimers and everything. Hey, it's outdoor. There is concrete and different structures, things like that. But we actually eliminated the throws that are going up into the bleachers because you're thrown into the metal bleachers and things like that. So like we have throws coming down. Like you're going to throw from the stands with some. So it's
Nice.
going to have some nice little touch to that. But to help the cause a little bit, you try to eliminate some of the different places where we know people again. You come with you're gonna have make little pieces here and there. That's the nature of work of doing stuff around the buildings and stuff. But try to eliminate as much of that as possible. Especially if you're really worried about a safe dish, throw a layup shot. Throw safe. Don't chase it. So don't run it. That's
Well,
what got it.
you see, I have a bunch of cameras around here. I'm planning on bringing at least 3.
Nice.
And setting up at least a couple just stationary ones
Okay,
at
sweet.
some of the easier baskets
Yeah.
for aces, and then walking around filming all day. So
Yeah, so we got got a guy.
CTP too.
We got a guy that played last time. His name's Mark Colbert. Him and his son Alec.
Oh,
They
yeah.
play all over the place. And
Yeah.
Alec, when he first started playing, was not good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like same with
seen
Justin
him.
If you
Davis.
listen, Alec,
Yeah.
watch Jim.
Same with
I'm
Justin
gonna
Davis.
revoke your harp opportunity, by the way.
Justin Davis has, he was a decent player when he started, but I mean, he just wasn't new. He was still new to it.
Just start.
And-
Definitely, yeah.
And Justin now I found out has a higher rating than the two of us.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
he's
wow.
blowing
Yeah.
us out of the water.
Yeah.
I haven't
but-
touched intermediate. He's playing advanced. tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've seen that happen many times.
Yeah.
I'm still intermediate.
I posted all this stuff about the tournament. I'm like, this is what we're doing. Donations. We're doing all this stuff. And I get a phone call from Mark, and I'm like, all right, what's up, man? And he said, I want to give a donation. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. And he's like, but I want it to be a challenge. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. And he said, my brother died of cancer, and I think his brother was in like his 30s when he died. And he's like, I want to make hole number 18 a challenge. So that if anyone gets an ace on hole number 18, they walk out with $100.
Nice.
And he said $100 is also going to Jess. He said, now if no one gets an ace, then all $200 just goes straight to Jess.
Right.
So hole 18, we actually have it set up. I don't know if you want to show them there. Going up 20th Street here. It's going to start kind of in one of the parking spots, and you're going to be throwing up into that little triangle of grass right there on the corner. And it's
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
an island shot.
Yeah.
And like if you're throwing
Over here, where there's a cut across going over to the parking area,
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's just grass
That
right here.
little
It's not
triangle.
going to be
Yeah.
a big hole. It's not
It's-
going to be long.
yeah,
it's going to
it's
be
not.
gettable for
And it's a
anybody.
slope
Yeah.
right there, like a hill. too.
Right.
Yeah,
and
just a
there's
little bit.
also this like detention pond area here. There's actually a fence
Oh,
around that, so
yeah.
you're gonna go. Oh, it's gonna be like I'm saying, not gonna be long. So you're gonna be able to go over it easy, but you gotta go over that. You can't just throw straight at it with.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
nice
you
little
gotta
long
you got
putt,
either
so.
right hand, backhand over the fence,
Yeah.
or right hand forehand around it. But there's a
Right.
sign in the way if you go
Oh,
forehand.
wow.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of challenge to it.
Yeah.
It's definitely gettable.
Oh yeah.
It's because it's not a very far shot, but we wanted to put a little bit of a challenge to it, and that's hole 18. Assuming you start on one, you'll finish right there, walking right back into the stadium.
And
That's
you guys
awesome.
don't have to reset the entire course
Right.
at halftime.
Right. Yeah.
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 And as
Sounds
of
like
right
we can
now, the
enjoy
two
our
of
lunch
us,
break
we're
then.
not even playing this time. We played last time, and that was crazy. We played,
Yeah.
tried to eat, and also go redesign an
Right.
entire 9-hole course. This time we've got a lot of people helping us. We've got food donated. My dad's donated food. One of the teachers at the high school is donating hot dogs, and
Nice.
we've got all this stuff. So we've got people helping us set all that up. So it's gonna be
We don't fill up
Smooth.
entirely. I
I tell
think
you-
we're gonna have to hit it
I
up.
plan
for
on
sure.
bringing a bunch of money for that raffle. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
A bunch. So
there-
if
Tell
you're
them
gonna,
some of the-
if you
Going
want that
after that.
tilt, you
Yeah.
better bring at least $100.
Well, I was gonna say if you want to touch on some of the other random stuff.
Yeah,
we got
so
recently, too.
I've been reaching out to a lot of local places. I think we got Parkersburg Brewing Company gave us $50 gift card.
Sweet.
Boathouse in Marietta, they gave us two $25 gift cards. Ray's Barbershop over on South Side, they're donating
South
something.
Parkersburg.
Haven't picked it up yet, but
Can't remember where Marietta, South Parkersburg.
yeah, South Parkersburg. Let's see who am I missing?
The bag from Van Man.
Oh yeah, Van Man
Just
Disc
happened.
Golf
Nice.
down in Huntington. I got a hold of him.
Yeah.
He said him and his wife, they're both coming to play, and he
Nice.
donated.
I saw him on there.
Yeah, he donated a bag to us. It's I haven't put the picture up there yet.
Yeah, you just got it. You found
Yeah,
out about it
he
yesterday,
sent it to
actually.
me like last night, like 8:30 last night.
Yeah.
A Latitude 64 luxury E4 backpack,
Nice.
and it's like a $200
Yeah,
bag.
Those are nice.
And
yeah.
so he's sending that to us.
Wow. That's awesome.
And then with the Discmania stuff, they sent probably 4 or 5 other discs. I'm not sure what that picture's up there, but
Yeah, Sunset
they
and
sent
everything.
some other discs that are there. Those 4 there, they're average
I didn't
discs.
realize
that-
that was different. Yeah. Those
Yeah,
are-
so those will be put
Nice.
together. I've had some other people donate a few random discs here and there, so
yeah.
we'll have probably one raffle that's got the bag, the Latitude bag with some random discs thrown inside of it, and maybe a gift card here or there. We'll have we had an event that your family donated,
Yeah, we got
gave-
a few
gave
random
to us.
gift
It's
tipping
just
coupons.
random gift cards,
Seems
gifts.
like everybody's gonna win something.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. There's
Especially again, we want to be able to fill it up, but the less people there are, yeah, you do have better chances. But definitely, you keep spreading the word with it so we can get as much for the cause, and that's the big thing. And we talked about the manufacturers, but also trying to reach out to all the different disc golf shops. People. Andy, for instance, one he knows Jess from where everything when Julian and Jess were involved, everything with the state tour and everything past past few years, different things like that. It's really a show people coming together and being able to work. And that's what Andy definitely. People from all around the state, around the area in general, being able to contribute to the cause. So
yeah.
And what a unique experience being able to play inside the stadium.
Yeah.
That's what past several years. Justice is a Titans fan, and they're 4 or 5 years ago they actually had Nissan Stadium in Nashville. They had a thing where you could play, of course, and I know that each year Dynamic was doing that where you go to different places. So we got our own mini version of it, but it's really enjoyable. With the concept of it in general, with Michigan, I played football up into college, and then being able to output all the disc golf I do. It's literally having that blend of the sports. It's really really enjoyable. Really kind of like I said, it's definitely and the biggest thing, especially with having something you guys know from your first times playing some of these big wooded courses. You see the woods and the trees. They really discourage you. So if you're a beginner wanting to come out and check out the sport, literally just and most courses too. A lot of them are out of town or you're kind of outside the outskirts. This one, literally anybody in town in the area, hey. Come on in, come check it out, and this nice, open, stress-free environment. One thing, and my fiance, I got her into playing when we first got together. We've got 9 women registered right now, which
that's crazy.
That's huge for
that's
anything.
More than I've ever seen around here.
Yeah,
and
we had 4 to begin, last time I think.
And you look at the numbers. I think only half of them have actually played, really played disc golf. We got kind of spread of others just randomly here and there.
Well,
but
you're just throwing a putter.
4 kids.
There's not more than 200-foot shots.
The great equalizer, right?
Everybody
can
play,
yeah. It's going to be fun.
That's exciting.
I'm excited for it. The fact that we're already over 30 people, considering I think last time we were at like 28 or 29, and we're over that now.
Yeah.
Like my goal. My reach goal was I want to hit 50, and we still got time. I know.
Hopefully this gets out a little bit
we're
and some people
share
sign
this
up.
Through all of our friend networks through Disc Collective,
and there's so many people I know that have said they're playing. I've got a couple teacher friends that are playing that still haven't signed up.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a lot of people that have full intention on playing. They're just not there yet.
Right.
Quick little plug. $25. You're gonna get a free disc. You're gonna get a T-shirt. That's at Dean Screens. In Parkersburg, we've got a deal worked out with them as far as be able to get some
and a T-shirt for $25.
Disc, T-shirt and lunch.
You can't beat that.
Yeah, and lunch.
We're gonna have some hot dogs, but we're gonna have some lunch.
Hot dogs.
All I gotta say is people better be bringing some donations. Like $25, you get all that. You can't even go buy that for $25.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you get to play 2 rounds of disc golf with your buddies.
And you get mulligans for bringing all the mac and cheese, granola bar, canned ravioli pudding. You get free shots just for bringing that stuff.
Yeah.
Like
so
you
don't
said,
forget that stuff. You'll need those shots.
And first place and second place in each division, they get their own trophy. After it's over, if no one hits an ace, we're going to throw off for the ace fund. And then we're doing a CTP when it's over, and I don't know what the prizes are going to be for that yet.
So what's the registration for these items? Just
going to be
raffle.
Yeah, 50-50 tickets. You just got to show up and pay 50-50, and we'll probably have each person that signs up will get like two or three 50-50
you guys need
tickets
to don't buy any if you don't have. I have like 4 rolls of tickets,
cool.
so I'll bring them.
I'm gonna get my dad has like bingos, different stuff to school. I'm gonna get a bunch of the coffee cups with the slits already in them. So we're like, all right, we got that. Here, the coffee ground containers.
We're going up into the stands, kind of like we did last time. We're gonna go up into the stands, 50-yard line, set the basket right in the center, and have a CTP challenge.
How can you be from Parkersburg and not just want to do this?
Yeah,
and go to the stadium field and do all that.
It's so much fun.
It was so much fun. I know, like my daughter and I talked about it for like at least 2 months afterwards.
I got my butt kicked and I still have blast.
Oh, I did too. I think I got like 3rd, but I think there was only 3 in my division.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's the beauty of it too. Like you said, is some of the people that come in, you could be the greatest. You could be the greatest person in the area, and that's the men's, women, and juniors. For some people, they may think, "Oh, I don't have a chance." No, with the random OBs, the link note, really not having the length, the chance there's I could easily walk out there and see I could get plus 20 if I just do it like I would normally play. But then you're gonna have to pick your spots, and it's gonna equalize out pretty good. It should be a good time.
Too.
Say some of the unique ones we've got going. We're like out front. We've got one we're throwing through the football uprights, and it's a triple Mando. You've got to go through them. Yeah. We got one that's we're using the soccer goals over here in this middle field.
Nice.
We're gonna tee off from the top of the horseshoe, down into the middle of the field, and you've got to throw into the soccer goal.
Nice.
But it's behind you.
Have these squeeze up together, so it's going to be.
So you got to like throw through a tiny little gap into it. So we're using that, and then there's one we're going to tee off from down here over into the pitcher's mound for the baseball field.
Nice.
So I mean, we're using as much of the stuff at the school as possible, trying to incorporate.
The corners.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, we're just incorporating as much as we can.
Nice.
You know, we got with the track stuff set up. They've got shot put area out front, and there's one that they use and one that they used to use. So one hole is going to be just throwing from one shot put to the other, and you've got to like it's not an island, but concrete's OB, so you got to stay in the grass, and it's a death putt going at it.
Field house here.
Nice.
So we're using as much of it as we can. One hole is like probably 60 feet.
It's real tiny, literally up around this corner right here.
Yeah.
But it's literally just you got to go up and then immediate 90-degree turn, and there's like not even 10 feet of grass next to it. So like if you throw too far and land on the concrete, it's OB.
Somebody might cuss us about that one, but that's that's a fun one. Hey, put it to the corner, put it over, you can get it too easy. But if you want to get aggressive, see what happens.
Rounds is an equalizer.
Yeah,
sure.
It is.
You know, being a par 3 tiny little course, you know, you like to see the ones try to get ace runs at everything, but you know, I've played a lot of courses where it says par 3 that there's no chance you're getting an ace ever. So I figure a couple of those holes where it kind of balance it out a little bit for people will be fun.
You can open your arm up a little bit out here in the fields in a few places, but for the most part, it's gonna be a nice little touch course. So.
Nice. Well, I should back up real quick because normally we start with how long have you guys played disc golf?
I started in college, so I was it was 2014 when I started, because I went to OVU, and it was right after they put the course in up at OVU, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to try this out, and I went and just the OVU, like you could take your student ID up to them, and they'd give you a couple discs to try out.
Oh wow!
So I mean, somehow I ended up with 2 drivers and a putter every single time, and I had no idea what that meant, and I just went out and started throwing, and it was a lot of fun. And I got hooked instantly.
To hear that just the fact that there was a course there created you.
Yeah.
Because that I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I had no
I've
idea.
seen what you've done for disc golf, and just the fact that someone built a course out of college created that's everything for me.
I had never even heard of it. Like I had no idea what it was before that. Yeah. And I knew there were.
So awesome.
I didn't realize how many places there were just in the Mid-Ohio Valley to play disc golf.
Right.
Until like probably 3-4 months into playing.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm kind of tired of playing here. And someone's like, hey, why don't you go to Veterans Park? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Veterans Park, never heard of it.
Other stuff like this? Yeah.
But then I got my.
That's awesome.
I think I got Logan into it first,
Logan,
right?
You were into it, and then Logan played 14 or 15. He started playing.
Yeah, so I got my buddy. I called him. I'm like, "Hey, this is fun. Let's go play." He's like, "I don't want to do that." I was like, "There's a soccer game."
I don't hear him saying that.
It's like
a shout out that first throw.
So we got a soccer game at the high school. You know, we'll go watch it. Let's go play first, and we'll go watch the game. He's like, "All right." And so we go. We get the discs from the little main desk there. We go out. We hit first tee at OVU. Of course, you know there's no concrete pads there. It's just a piece of wood
driving
there.
Range.
And he grabs his disc and he's like, okay. And he's thrown frisbee before. You know, we played ultimate frisbee. He knew what he was doing. And he grabs this thing, takes 3 steps, and chucks it 3 feet straight into the ground. I mean, it just goes right into a bush, straight into the ground.
That literally one spot of all the little bushes at the first tee OVU. He literally found that.
And I looked at him like,
every time we go.
Are you kidding me? I didn't think
just
you could be this
that
bad.
Little mud hole?
Yes, that little mud hole right there. He went straight at it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, he threw it less than 10 feet.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm like, okay, well, apparently you don't want to play this. You suck. But now, now he's competing with me all the time. We have a good friendly competition.
He got him into it there, and then I started playing in 2016, so I'm going on 5 years now. I just got out of a breakup, and it's one of those like, I was moping around in town and stuff. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna go play disc golf. Let's go." I was like, "Yo, what's disc golf?" Like, I've all these different things. I played football, basketball, kind of just basic stuff, and then I was like, "Okay, sure. Like, I got nothing else to do. Let's go check it out." Hooked. I was so hooked ever since then. That was, and again, just like you said, happened to have that opportunity there, and he said he mentioned it, and it's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's check it out. And I just love it.
Yeah, I had a friend that took me out the first time, and he was, like, we drank together. We were drinking buddies. So he was like, I got something we can go do and drink. all right, let's do it. You know?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I was like, I'll do it. Sounds great.
Yeah. I've always tried golf. I've always wanted to be a golfer.
My first throws, like for the first whole round, everything was straight up in the air.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could throw it like 150 feet up in the air, and then it would like come back to me. You know what I mean? It'd go like 50 feet, and you're like, this isn't
it's
really
going
working.
way to the left. It's never going where you want it to go. Oh yeah.
You know how? Well, of course. I mean, for the tall people, it's like everything. Instantly, you think, well, I'm tall. If I throw it higher, it's going to go further.
Right.
I just keep throwing it higher.
Yeah.
You look out there and you're like, I threw it 50 feet, but it went 100 in the air. It's like my ball golf slice. Look, I go 100 yards out, but 150 to the right.
Oh yeah.
That's how my disc golf shot just gone.
So that's the thing. Like I've always loved golf. I'll sit and watch it. I love to play it, but I'm so bad at it. It makes me so mad. Like I paid $30 to go out to a golf course. I've lost 10 golf balls, and I'm hating my life.
Yeah. Everybody can do disc.
I go to the disc golf course. I'm like, all right, if I have a bad day,
frisbee, really.
I turn around and walk off the field, off the course, and I go get in my car and I leave. I'm not out any money. I'm not out any time. It's a good time. Unless
there's a lot of water on the course, you might lose.
Oh yeah.
Well, the one thing you mentioned that was kind of obvious, like I've noticed, I just looked a few weeks ago when I was talking to someone. We do all these things where the sport has grown so much. There's so many different things that have really taken off, and it's great to see like the growth just all over the country, all over the world. You see some of the new things with the foundations, everything's actually branching into more and more countries even. But like I have people that I was just saying something the other day about like, I didn't know I disc golf. Well, then they're like, oh, I was driving by, I was driving around in Mountwood the other day and I saw there's baskets, and I was like, yeah. They go, I didn't know there was another. It's like I didn't know there was another course. I'm like, what do you mean another? Like they're thinking of just one other. I'm like. And you guys know the number better than I do. Like, there's probably 8 to 10, maybe right in the median. Within a half hour, you can get to that, man. And like I tell them, like, yeah, there's one here, there's one here, and one here. Especially the one at OVU where it's tucked in behind the school and everything. No one thinks of it, and that's what it's so cool to be able to tell people, yeah, you can walk somewhere, go walk a few miles in 2 hours, and have fun with your buddies.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what OVU's course looks like anymore. Ever since they redid it, I haven't played it.
Really?
It's amazing.
It's pretty sweet.
I do enjoy it.
It's better.
I've gone there a few times.
I don't know if you know this or not, but my cousin's brother-in-law, his name's Josh Hall. He got permission from OVU to make the changes.
Dang, must be nice.
Him and Jim.
I tried that for 2 freaking years.
They're working on tee pads.
That's awesome.
He started digging on tee pads like 2 weeks ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah, wow. It took him like 5 months.
So I know that there's been a lot of changes out there, so they've been way more willing to do things. But
we tried to do a few years ago.
We went out and did so much work, and then
kickback from different people.
I'm persistent.
I just keep played.
Right.
I know.
That's what we had it all laid out.
It was so frustrating.
Like you said, getting the commitment from, we had it all laid out. And again, things change. Things kind of go back and forth. But we got everything set, and then it's like, no, we can't do that. So then it's like, okay. But again, regardless, it's great to see it continue.
It was still a fun couple work parties.
Oh, yeah. That was a great time.
That was so much fun. So, I don't mind that they didn't go that route. And the new layout works, too.
It works probably better
and easier, really. Yeah. It's an easier walk, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So...
That's really why James and I have started this disc golf collective, is because we're just these people that show up. And Matt, thank you so much for helping on the Sasquatch when I first went out there. You brought a chainsaw one day.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Just kind of volunteerism and having an amazing time at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what disc golf is.
Yeah.
Those work
when I
parties
first got
fun.
here, well, I came from a place that had, work parties meant 45 people at the least, maybe 30 at the least, and when 30 people show up, you get a ton of work done and no one has to do anything. Like you literally, like if you're mixing concrete, you do like 2 moves and hand it off, and you're like, oh, but I want to get back in. They're like, no, you're done. Just go hang out for a little while. You're like, oh, well, can I pick up garbage? Oh, we already did that. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're gonna play a round after. Exactly. So it was just we didn't break a sweat, and we did 2 tee pads one time with 30 people. I think I literally raked the concrete like 4 times and handed off. Oh, but I wasn't done, and that was amazing to me. So when I got here, there was like 2 people would show up, and that was every time, and for many work parties, and it was like, oh, this isn't gonna work. I mean. There's way more work to do here because everything is, old growth. So you cut the weeds out, they're gone. They don't come back. You know what I mean? Here, you keep cutting the weeds out, which means there's way more work here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Way more work and way less people to do it. And it kind of broke my heart. It was very discouraging for many years. And I finally was just like, well, be the change you want to see. And I was like, well, then the Disc Golf Collective is born. You know what I mean? and that's why it was a chainsaw. You know what I mean? It meant work. These are the people that are going to put work in, knowing that it needs to be done. And we all enjoy it. So if you're not putting it in, you should feel a little guilty, honestly. You should come out to at least a couple work parties a year, especially around here. I mean, there's so much work to be done.
Yeah.
A chainsaw
So
and
much.
some hucks. That's you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
James and I did that
my.
working on one of those ones abroad, and I think we had actually had Dale helping. I
Yeah.
remember one of the first ones we did. Dale was helping there at the bottom, and you're like, Dale, go trim this. He trimmed the weeds all the way back
my
on one
gosh.
of those holes.
Yeah.
We're like, well, we wanted those there to kind of help. But Dale, obviously Dale just went at it. He went
To
to
the
town. Like,
ground,
Dale, appreciate your help, man, definitely. But yeah, we got done with all that, and it's like, hey, you want to get some lunch? Yeah, we get some hucks, and then we went and chucked around there. So yeah, that was. But yeah, again, it was. I'm the same with you, James, and you saw the work when you try to put in all that work with those things, and that's what it was discouraging. But like you said, I'm glad to see you being able to do that to like you said, be the change you want to see, because when you saw the effort that. There's not been a lot of things. Again, it's working out in the summer. It's hot. It's a lot of things like that. But there's so many people that we want you. They want to see change happen, but don't want to do it and don't want to necessarily put in the work for it. Like I said, so being able to spread the word, so people can find the ways they can pitch in. And like you said, if we were able to get more people to do some of these things, these work
But
parties.
it's all aspects. We need you guys running crazy tournaments.
Oh,
at
yeah.
PECO
Yeah.
Stadium, man. That's
It
amazing.
is.
Spread
And
the word,
that's
spread the
the
joy.
thing is, like, you don't have to go to a work party.
Oh no.
You can run a tournament. You can, if you see something that's supporting disc golf, share it. That's the easy. Like, it's literally a point and click.
Right.
I don't see enough of that around here even, and that could be a little better. I think I'm seeing it. With like the Guardian Aliens. You guys aren't on the Guardian Aliens, are you?
Actually, I hadn't joined it.
No.
That's Jared's.
Yeah.
Outlook
Yeah,
Athens
well, I'll
area.
see if we can get you guys on there.
Yeah.
It's a great group of disc golfers, and Jared's doing some really big stuff out in Athens, which it really just kind of joins this whole area together, because
There's obviously
and
Columbus
really
has a hub,
goes all the way to Columbus,
Yeah.
right? Because that middle area never really had much. Now it's going to have that kind of connection, I think.
Yeah.
Andrew and I played in the tournament. It was up in Lancaster there.
Nice.
Actually, I think it was beginning of May, and that had the two course there, Eagles Nest and Flat Rocks. We loved playing there, and then that's what I've heard
a lot about.
I've heard all the different things going on with the other courses. Of course, Burr Oak, all the different places in general. It's cool to be able to see, like you said, that connecting the dot between Parkersburg doesn't have a ton, but it's just as soon as you have something pop up in Athens, Lancaster area, then you have Southern Parkersburg, then we've got Ripley all down to Charleston. You start to get to where it's a corridor, and that's. Jim pulled up the UDisc maps there. You look across UDisc maps like in other states, and that's what we were in. Andrew and I were in Atlanta, Georgia, and you go looking around and you just start seeing just like how much it's. You can see a spattering of them, but when you start to see literally a corridor of disc golf, it's incredible. So.
Look at all those dots.
I almost
crazy.
feel like we should screenshot it
People
and then
just don't
compare it
realize
every
disc
year.
golf is free. Most places you go,
Yeah.
you just walk up
That
and
is
go
crazy.
play. Get you a $20 disc and.
It's like
I didn't
anything.
actually realize.
It's like even like we talked about
7.
golf just a little bit. It's like anything. You can get into golf as cheap as you want, but you go play golf, you pay $20 to $30 to go play, at least to go play 9 holes, even in a lot of places, just to go do that. You got upfront costs, and you can spend as much as you want in a disc, a bag, cart, all those things. But for a $25 starter set at Dunham's and a grocery bag, you can go play disc golf somewhere.
You can go to Appalachian Disc Golf. I did yesterday or the day
Absolutely.
before, $16.90 or
Is that
something.
you got those
like
Prodigy
that.
3-pack ones? Oh,
yeah.
very
Or
nice.
is it Prodigy?
I think
don't
that was.
so.
Oh, is it not the Prodigy ones?
I don't think so. I think it was. What brand is
It's not
that?
that disc. Oh, the
I don't remember because I only looked at it for a second. But he's got a starter pack for 16 something.
Very
It
nice.
looked like a great disc. They're the soft, kind of gummy ones or whatever.
Well, and obviously, if you get into the sport because you found someone that all of us have boxes of used ones or even new
Yes.
ones. Hey, like we know great starter, and some of the ones we've got that we've maybe had from tournaments in the past, we don't throw them because they are starter discs because they're newer stuff in general. And so that's like I said, being able to plenty of with the disc golf community, being able to plenty of people looking to do handouts and be able to spread the word and spread this grow the sport. So
Maybe it was Discmania. I don't remember.
Yeah, last year with
Vaguely
the
remember.
with all the
Love that
pandemic
sticker.
nonsense going on, I had my guy I work with. He likes to bowl. He likes to play golf. He likes to do all this stuff. And I'm come play disc golf with us. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
So we went out to Vets, and I showed him the course, showed him how to play, and now he's hooked. I mean, he wants to play all the time. You know, he's ready for summer we'll be out of school so he can have time to play.
Yeah.
He's playing in the tournament. You know, he's really excited about it. And that's what I did. I just went into the closet. I'm like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
here's a good disc for you. I'm never going to use. I gave him, 5 or 6 things that I don't use anymore. They're just hanging out, and a couple of them I don't think I ever even threw.
Right.
So I just said, here you go, and he's loving it.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually trying to join you on the teacher train because
yeah?
I put an application in at Washington State College to teach their massage program.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Haven't heard yet, but they're
Very
still
nice.
trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping because that gives me summers off too. I won't know what to do. I'm just gonna tell you, I've never had a summer off ever.
That's just like teacher time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teacher hours.
Oh, I'll bet.
I mean,
I know I would enjoy it
You're
tremendously.
coaching
I
as
go
well,
I
so-
go right from
Yeah.
soccer, right
Yeah,
from
that's
school
what I said.
straight
You
into
got
coaching
Yeah.
soccer. I don't really have a summer. I don't know what a
Right.
summer break is, but so that's
I
like
bet.
probably the biggest downfall is
Yeah, I
doing
coached
all that
11
work.
years and gave it up and started disc golfing full time. You'll get there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Well-
thought about it. The Bodega coffee shop in Vienna. I went in and talked to them. You know, they're a local owned.
Couple blocks from Julian's shop.
Yeah, just right up the road from
Yeah.
Julian's shop there. I went to them and I said, hey, we're doing this, and they're a small Christian-based company.
Yeah.
I said, hey, we're doing this tournament. Would you guys be willing to do anything? And she said, yeah. Let me talk to the other owner. We'll figure something out and we'll let you know. And I gave her my name and number. And I'm sitting there with my teacher friend that plays, and we're
Yeah.
just drinking coffee, just talking, whatever. And a couple minutes later, she walks up to me and she's like, so I thought about it. We have people that come in, they leave their change, or they drop $1 in here, and it's kind of like their give back to the community jar.
Right.
And they said, this is, we decided and talked it over just real quick over the phone. We said, this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
And so they said, we're going to give you all this. And said, if we don't think it's enough, we'll give you more. I'm like, okay, cool.
Wow.
And so she takes that jug and just pours it out on the table right in front of me. I'm like,
Oh wow.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so I started grabbing it all up, and we sit there and count it. It was like $104 and some
Wow.
change.
Awesome.
And so
That is
she
awesome.
gave us that, and then she said, she told me to get a hold of her this week, and we make T signs for each hole. She's gonna get those
Cool.
printed for us and
Awesome.
do all the work
Sweet.
for that. So
Yeah.
I was pretty excited about that. And then Gift Gallery of Vienna, talked
Yeah.
to them Saturday,
Nice.
and they're gonna give us something too.
I'm gonna
They
give
actually
you some stuff on the way out.
they knew
I gotta leave
Jess
some stickers
personally,
and
so-
keychains, and
Awesome.
I'll give you a gift certificate for massage as well.
sweet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Someone will put some money in for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I give out a lot of gift certificates, and they hardly ever come back to me. So
You give them out some disc golfers, but like,
Yeah.
on my shoulder,
a couple times, the disc golfers have like Scott won one time. He's been coming to me since,
Very nice.
and yeah, we try to keep him together.
Yeah.
He's getting old. Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to do this. We were really excited about it. We wanted it to be get it done.
Yeah.
We were really hoping that
2018 is when we did the first one.
Yeah, 2018.
And
We wanted to do it before, but with soccer stuff going on, with all this stuff, and then with COVID happening,
Yeah.
we couldn't get it. We tried to do it
19,
earlier in the
19
year.
I think we had it planned, and then there was the week. And at the high school, that's one of the biggest things. That,
Scheduling.
stadium obviously there is what it is up there, but the field house has constant events. All through the spring, and even spring's that, and then the summertime, of course, all these other tournaments are happening. So this one being able
trying
to go
to
through. But,
trying to work around times, and we finally got it scheduled. We actually had it scheduled for this past weekend.
Yeah.
I contacted the athletic director, and I'm like, hey, can we use it?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I said, whatever, 29th, whatever, or the 5th. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no problem. Nothing's going on. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah.
And I said, we're going to take the 29th. And we start scheduling. We start doing this stuff. And I call my dad. My dad delivers potato chips for Lay's Potato Chips. So I
Yeah.
call him up. I'm like, hey, can you get us some potato chips? He's like, yeah, sure. Just let me know when. I said, well, we're doing it on the 29th. And he goes, isn't that graduation?
Oh no.
I said, I don't know, is it? He goes, yeah, your sister's graduating that day. Like,
Yeah.
you should probably know that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just knew I needed to be
that
there.
sucks. And so I call the athletic director back. I'm like, hey, are you sure we can do the 29th?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I said, my dad's telling me that's graduation. He said, oh yeah.
Oh
Like,
wow.
We want the next week then. We
Yeah.
want June 5th. Go ahead and pencil us in there.
Uh,
So he I got to go on in this week to get everything finalized with that. But
Nice.
yeah, we were hoping. We're glad Julian and Tristan are going to be there.
Yeah.
We
Me too.
were hoping we could get stuff and kind of get a big smile out of Jess before she was gone. But
Yeah.
we know she's still going to be happy.
Well, I still feel like it couldn't be any better timing.
Yeah.
And awesome cause. I mean, Jess did so much for disc golf. I was actually in his shop yesterday and looking at all those pictures she made across
I love
the top.
them.
Really
I love them so
makes you
much.
almost cry. You know what I mean?
I've
Thinking
got
about
one
it,
at the
but
house.
I do too. I've won a couple. I
got
bought a
one,
couple.
Yeah, pictures of us that she's taken from doubles tournament
yeah.
stuff. Like,
That's cool.
it's fun. I think some of the best pictures I have of me doing anything are that she's taken just on the course randomly.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
And that's when it comes to Jess, and I'll say it flat out. I didn't know Jess personally as far as spending all the time with her. Before I ever got disc golf, we never met her. But then we didn't have. It's not like we hung out or anything like that. But the biggest joy about it was every time I go to a tournament that Julian was putting on, playing in, helping with everything, that Jess was there.
Yeah.
And I talked to her for a few minutes, and we were talking about stuff the other day we were putting in something with Clutch MOV actually, trying to put something together, and I'm typing it up, and I realized literally every time you'd show up to an event, before the round, between rounds, Jess would be there. How'd it go? How's it going? And she'd make you smile, make you laugh, and you always came away from her happier, and like I said, better person. That's what it's kind of. It was hard to see the struggles she went through, but she fought harder than anybody ever would with that, and obviously she had a cause between Tristan first and foremost, and of course everything with Julian. And she loved her friends and family more than herself at times probably. And that's
what I would
she
say about her that I noticed the most is she had some seriously strong love.
Oh yeah.
And
yes.
and I mean always there for Julian to support him and back him up.
Right.
And
So anytime he was doing tournaments, and he's trying to, even if he wasn't running it, but the shop was set up as prize stuff. She's trying to set things up. We'd be there not doing anything else. We're just hanging around. We'd go start pulling stuff out of the truck for her and helping her out. And she was never asking for help. She never wanted help, but we'd help her out, and she was always thankful for it. I mean, she'd thank us 100 times, and Tristan played football down at Vienna Rec, and I used to work the Vienna Rec fields all the time. He did soccer and football, and I reffed all the soccer stuff. I'd be down there, and I'd say hi to Tristan. He'd come up to me and say hey to me. I'd talk to them for 20, 30 minutes after games were over. I'd just hang around and talk to him. And every time she posted stuff about Tristan can't figure this out for school, the teacher in me is instantly. I went back and looked at a message. One of the last messages we had talked about was he was confused about something with school, and so I couldn't figure it out because it was math, and that's just even middle school math's not my thing.
Oh,
but
me either.
I'm sitting there with my math teacher friends, and instantly I'm like, okay, they don't understand this. Help out, and trying to do everything I can to help them out.
That's funny. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'll go there was a point where I didn't see Tristan for about almost a year. I swear he grew at least a foot.
Oh yeah,
he's
Then the next time it was only about 6 months, and I thought, well, he couldn't have grown. He had already grown another foot. I was like, what
It's
is
crazy.
this kid eating? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I almost didn't even recognize him last
Well,
time
and
I
the
saw
other
him.
part is watching his disc golf game, because I've watched that from where he can throw 10
Oh, yeah.
feet. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? And that's
Throwing
been
like Logan.
fun too. He's gonna be good. Yeah, he's gonna be good. I have a feeling.
I started giving Logan a shout out earlier when he was talking about all the people. You go to the work party, there's 45 people, and some people don't have to do all that. It's like Logan every time he shows up to help us move or
Yeah,
something.
no
He's,
kidding.
he's like, oh, there's plenty of people here. I'm good.
Yeah.
I can't say Logan's got the joke on us though. He's actually flying. He flying out this morning to California. He's going to go play at De La Viega
wow.
here. He's going to probably hit up a couple courses actually.
Yeah, his sister lives out there, so they're going to go visit his sister, and he's he's just talking all this I'm going to go play De La, and we're we know you're cool.
Joke's on us. We're sitting in a room with Jim and James right now.
Yeah.
And he's flying to
Right.
California.
No, we won. It's okay.
We did, you're right.
We
We
won.
did win on that one.
Totally. That's too funny.
Stadium Field.
Well,
Wedding
what
Party,
time are we looking at, Jim?
June 15th. We are
many minutes are we at?
50 minutes.
That's
Almost
a
an
good
hour.
time. You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
Stadium Field Putting Party.
I'm
June
more than willing
5th.
to have you on after and talk about it too,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
want,
yeah.
and talk
Yeah.
about what kind of money you raised and stuff like that. That's always, I think, good for a tournament, especially when it comes to the next year.
I think
you can always share the video, for the next year or whatever.
Yeah. I think one thing because like last time we had the two different round layouts. We're going to have just one layout. I think probably the next couple of days we'll probably go ahead and have a. I've got the map. We've been working on the map as far as actually we're going to have a caddy book's going to have like, hey, here's the map. Because of all the OB, there's going to be specific ones for each hole to kind of make it clear that was no question. So anybody is signed up or anybody is interested in sign up, if you really, I know some people like to have a preview, and this one kind of being a course that isn't an existing course yet.
Yeah.
Someone that has no idea of the layout. So if we get this out maybe even today or tomorrow, it's going to help kind of spread the word of it. But look to have that information out. The biggest thing, if anybody whoever watched this video, spread the word. Let anybody. And again, I know of people that we've got that this is going to be their first time playing disc golf, and I know of people that have played it for 10, 15, 20 years. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be an enjoyable experience. It's going to be a good time. If weather cooperates, everything should be great. Like I said, we're gonna have lunch, and the good thing about it too is it's June. It's going to be warm, but it's 2 short, quick rounds. Putter. And you're going to have too much, not going to strain you too much, and it's going to be some Ohio disc golf. It's relatively flat, So it's going to be enjoyable from that regard.
The only way we get out of the woods around
Absolutely,
here.
yeah. So that's what like I said. It should be a great time. You come out, help the cause with everything.
$25. How could you do anything more?
$25, and that's the thing is we do have several people. Like I said, we have some people that are interested in sign up that they know they can't make it, but they want to be able to contribute. But also with the players back, and kind of if everything would take off great with it this year, then we'll keep spreading the word for future year. Then again, knowing everything Jessica and Julian and Tristan have done as far as with the disc golf community, and getting being that kind of route where a lot of us have in this area have been able to kind of get involved with things. I think it's going to be definitely carry that legacy going forward with the event. And
I guarantee that Julian and Jess have brought at least 500 people into disc golf around here,
Easily.
at least, and maybe not all of them, stuck around and kept doing it, but they all at least played one round of disc golf.
And they mentioned to the next person that may have gotten into it heavy, and so that's what it's been awesome to see that in general.
John and Brittany, they're both in it because of him. So, and they're getting big into it. Like they're starting to get the bug. You know what I mean? And I bet we see them running tournaments in the near future.
Yeah.
And they definitely come out to work parties. So, it's the family that's growing around here since I've been here for about 6 years. I'm loving what I'm seeing. I was frustrated for at least 2 or 3 years when I first moved here, and when we tried to do the owl thing and all that, but
some growing pains with some of those things.
I think the other thing that I've had to convince Scott to do to really try to consummate the entire package of people is to get him understanding that he needs help.
Yeah.
He's getting old, and he's there. So I've convinced him finally.
And there's people that are willing to help if we continue to grow the desire to help. And like I said, not have that stigma around. Like I said, there's been different things in the past that have happened, but being able to have that positive light to it, like you said, knowing if there can be a lot of people, hey, come up, have a good time. We'll get a little bit of work done, or we'll get a lot of work done with you only have to do a little bit with each person, and then we'll go play some disc golf. So,
what I would love to see is a meeting where we had literally anyone who's built a course around here, Scott and Ken and Josh and Jim and myself and Julian and all those heads, and then anyone who ran a tournament around here, you guys, and then just everybody in the same room talking about disc golf and the future of disc golf here, and we don't need presidents, we don't need just everybody. And if you show up, you get to make a decision on that choice for the day. If you don't show up, then maybe you don't, or maybe we Zoom call everybody, whatever. But I would love to see that. That's because then you don't have I want to schedule a tournament, and you go to schedule it, and then you find a day where you don't see something scheduled, and then you schedule it, and then you get a call the next day. Well, you just schedule right on top of my thing. Well, because I didn't know your thing was happening because you didn't list it yet. You know what I mean? And like, well, yeah, but it's on that same week every year. And it's like, I didn't know that because no one talks to each other. You know what I mean? And it's going to get to a point around here where there's so many different entities in disc golf that they'll be on top of each other.
Yeah.
Tournament, here in Williamstown and one in Parkersburg. You know what I mean? And that's what happens. But if we can start getting on that same page now, then that group runs everything.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you know, when you guys decide to run something, you have the backing of every other tournament director in that group, or you know, whatever.
And not
it's
having
so
like
much easier.
not having people in charge. I mean, it
don't
it
need anybody
keeps-
in charge.
Yeah, it keeps
Yeah.
the
You
heads
need a
from butting.
committee. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Of everybody. You know that has any idea of what could help disc golf.
Yeah.
You know.
Because I mean,
And,
But more events. I love what you guys are doing. Just make a course somewhere.
yeah,
Get
I
them
mean,
to temporary basketball.
Yeah, I
so
love
this is
that
what
too.
you know. Whenever I was student teaching at BHS, they told me like, you know, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, what do we have?
Right.
And so I go into our equipment room and I see 9 traveler baskets sitting in a
That's
corner,
sweet.
and I'm like, oh yeah, here we go.
Off to a good start.
And so
Yeah.
I go in and I'm like, I want to do this. And I said, I want to do disc golf. And they said, okay. And so I turn around and I go out into the stadium one day with a pen and paper, and I start looking at it. And I'm like, okay, I could do this. I could do this. I designed 2 courses and went out. In 2 days we played this course. And then the next 2 days we played this course. And I mean, I went out and set it up myself. I didn't have anybody else helping me. I'm just carrying these things around at 7 o'clock in the morning.
It's just casually
and-
with your gym class.
Yeah, and then my
Yeah.
gym class comes out, and like, some of the kids hated it. Some of the kids
Yeah.
wanted nothing to do with it, and then a
Yeah.
couple of the kids were like, "This is so much fun." Like I had one kid, like Justin Davis.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, he's better than us now when it
Yeah.
comes to rating. And I mean, the kid, I
He's better than us,
started.
period. Don't get it twisted.
No, come on. I'm not giving him that much credit. He might be watching, Matt. Come on now. You know, he's like, he comes in and he's like, I said I want to do a disc golf club. And we had disc golf club, and like we had like 3 kids that were showing up regularly. And then like the one kid left, and then the one kid left, and it was just Justin.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, well, I've got soccer practice, and no offense to just Justin, but like,
Yeah, I get it.
you can go play. Like you're a senior in high school, you're a junior in high school. You can go play a course right after school instead of sitting around and us just like talking about it or throwing up, you know, Worlds from 2014 on YouTube and watching it.
Right.
So
right.
he started doing his own thing and going and playing all the time.
That's awesome.
And he still comes and talks to me. I told him, I was like, hey, you got to get signed up for this. He's like, all right. Went and signed up. You know, he's asking me. He's like, so should I sign up for juniors or should I sign up for the like men's? And I said, Justin, you have a higher rating than me. You should
Yeah.
probably not. At the time, Tristan was the only junior signed up.
no.
Like you can't do that to
down.
Tristan. Come on now.
Right.
And that's being able to grow, and like I said, having something like this in town, but also at the school. I have a friend that we've met through disc golf. Actually, she's from Dayton, but we play with her in the Charleston area. And we're starting to get some of the details from her, but she's actually starting helping head up some things with the National High School Disc Golf League.
Because I know
And
Steve
we're-
down in Charleston's
That's
doing the
awesome.
same
Steve,
thing.
he was
Yeah.
working with some things, but all these things that have been like kind of kicking off with stuff. As much as it's been little things starting with some of the high schools, like you said, small clubs trying to go.
Yeah.
They're trying to make basically one united force with some different things, and so
That's
that's
awesome.
going to be, kind of doing something like that. And again, any other students that come show up to this, they'll be like, "Hey, it's kind of cool," and hopefully they spread the word. And again, I know kids when it comes to phone, text like that. Okay, it may be not the easiest, but still being able to come out and do something like this that like
Yeah.
low strain, fun. You said a little bit of competition to it, but
Yeah.
being able to have a good time with buddies, that's what you kind of grow those things out in general. So
I got a text Thursday when we were out setting up the course. We were, kind of walking through trying to figure out what we were going to do. I got a text, lady that's on the board in Vienna that is in charge of Vienna Rec Soccer and all that.
Yeah.
She said that the Vienna board is working on a disc golf program right now. So they're
Nice.
going to do it kind of like they do their baseball, their football, their soccer.
Yeah.
They're going to have a disc golf, and they're going to use the Jackson Park course that
Awesome.
Julian's putting
Nice.
up.
Yeah.
That's
And
really awesome.
I mean, I've only played the Jackson course a couple of times, but I mean it's fun.
yeah, I've only
it's,
been maybe 3 or 4.
it's challenging
It
in
is.
some holes. In
Yeah.
some holes,
I
it's
played Julian's League this like whole winter, and it's coming around. It
Mhm.
Yeah.
kicked my butt. I was +6 last week.
Yeah.
A par 3 course.
It's
That, I
definitely
mean,
got
most
me.
holes are only 200 feet, but there's twists and turns. And
Yeah.
so that one that you got to like go up and then immediately come right back. Like that one,
Yeah.
U-turn.
that one's tough.
That
There's
one
some
is
of those
tough.
holes.
I get a 4 on it all the time.
Yeah,
and I'm happy.
I 3'd it twice in a row last time I was there playing it.
Oh, man.
I've learned where, don't bite off too much. You just want to
The
get through the
corner.
gap and get as far left as possible. That's it. You
Yeah.
don't need to, be way up on the hill somewhere, try to throw up high to get further left. None of that. Just get through the gap and go a little bit left.
It's like
That's
trying,
it.
It's like trying to play 3 events right now. It's like
Yeah.
I'm happy with a 4.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a great 4. I mean, that's a hard hole, honestly. I've
Yeah.
seen many scores on that hole
Yeah.
and stuff.
that hole was
Yeah.
tough before they moved it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was talking about doing some kind of change on that one to make it I don't remember. There was something he
One of
wanted
those
to do
trees
to
came
it.
down and made it a little open, a little more
Yeah.
open.
Oh yeah.
So
I
Actually-
think like one
surprised.
thing I felt like there could be a second spot for a par 3 that would still be super hard. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
you just moved it back down the hill or whatever, so that like it was kind of just out of reach for like like a straight ace, but to the left.
Vets that actually at the park commission out there, they actually did a bunch of clear treeing here recently too.
That's my parents'
I heard.
next door neighbor.
Was that who
You're
did it?
welcome. Yeah.
I would say, well, that's why we
Yeah.
went out there and played with Logan just a couple days ago, and he Logan's on that firefighter schedule now, so he plays a lot more disc golf than he used to. But he actually got a couple of his firefighter buddies into it as well. But
so they're actually playing the tournament. He's
Yeah.
got
That's
two
what he
guys.
does now. He's a firefighter.
Yeah.
he's a
I did
firefighter.
not
So
know that.
he works
Wow.
2 days a week for
Yeah.
off the other 5, so he got a lot of disc golf
That's
time.
too
But no,
funny.
he was out there and he was like, yeah, they started doing some stuff. But then he and I went out there and they actually, like you said, Jim knows it. They did the clear treeing, but then they actually did a bunch of stump grinding. And so it's like, okay, as soon as they started cleaning up things like that I know. It just goes back to what we talked about. For a while, Scott and Travis and different people, they go out and do little in gym course, little clearing and different things that happen. But like you can only do so much to keep up with certain parts of it. Well, then more recently, it seems like with everything that the people out there working out there have been doing, like they're doing a lot of things. And the stuff the airport had done as far as having all the trees cleared, that hurt it for a little bit there. But then it's like, okay, now let's figure out what we can do. Let's figure out what we can keep doing with it. And like I said, seeing these places where they've actually done more of these things to help the beautification of the course, that makes it less of a hazard, but also entices more and more people to look at it as not just a patch of woods. It's
Right.
there's 18 holes of golf out here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, this course is always challenging.
hey, you can see my disc across the road. I think if you
Yeah.
look.
They did. They did put a blue tee pad in, a concrete tee pad
Saw
in
that.
for.
Yeah.
11.
Yeah,
11,
yeah.
Poured
Yeah.
concrete. Yeah.
It's in the tall grass out there.
Thank
right
Travis
now. They
for
still
that.
got 'em
That
out,
tee used to get lost.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, what's here somewhere? But
but the
I know.
stick, That's
yeah, let's stick over there. It's right
I've
there.
had to help Scott Luke for that one, and many of the pin positions. Like we searched forever. He needs a metal detector, is what he needs.
Put like
They just
a
get
yellow
buried.
cap
Yeah.
that sticks up out or
those
something.
little-
Yeah.
Well, I'll say
Something.
those little cap lids that I've seen a lot of places now, the PVC,
Yeah.
like those are so easy and they're low profile where they don't affect it. So those
Right.
are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should put that. I actually told him we should go with some flags or something. I want to make better T signs for here, but I have no idea where all the pin positions are.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time I
Oh,
go
no.
there, they're in different spots. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't remember where all of them are at this point. I know they all have like at least 3, if not 5. So if we had flags for all of them, I could photograph that, and then when I made the maps, I would know, okay, there's
Yeah.
these 5
Right,
spots,
yeah.
and know how far they are or
Playing
whatever.
Fork Run yesterday, I saw the new T signs and
Joe Yote.
I'll say the T
Yeah.
signs out there, and they're like, oh, these are beautiful. And like,
Yeah.
of course, the price of lumber, I can just imagine how much is in the
Oh,
beautiful.
man.
They put these at the thick posts, and not just basic
Yeah, the
4x4.
6x6,
Those things
yeah.
are beefy, and I was like, oh man. But then seeing the signs themselves that are out there, and like you said, there's some of the pin locations that are out there. Like I didn't know there was these pins, and there was
Yeah.
some things moved around, and that's
I'm
what's
hoping they had that lumber for a while.
yeah,
They've
well,
been
and
sitting on
that's
it.
that's the other beautiful thing. Like I said, with the disc golf in general, is like there's always so much variety. You can show up to a course 3 months later, and 12 of
Yeah.
the pins will be moved, and so
Yeah.
that's another one of those things. If people be like, "Oh, it's just throwing around," no, it's always different. It's always
That's
something.
what I love
It
about
is.
going down to Charleston and playing.
Redeemer.
Redeemer.
It's
Yeah.
like everything.
Yeah.
Redeemer's got like 3 different
Oh,
pin
man.
locations for holes 1 through 18 on the regular, but then you go play the blue course
Yeah.
that's goes across all those 18 holes and more, and they're always different
And
too.
Isn't
I
there
mean,
like a pro course too, or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
he's
it's
got like
ridiculous.
four
Yeah.
I can't remember
courses
the-
set
I can't
up
remember
on
the
the same
total.
course.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is.
4 different layouts. It's
Right.
such a fun course.
Yeah.
And KVR coming up here in a couple weeks.
Yep. We've talked about
212.
that a couple times.
Yeah.
Sad, I'm leaving for vacation that day. So
That'd be too sad,
Yeah.
but it's,
Take some discs with you. You'll find a disc golf
There's
course.
a
yeah,
couple
we're
down
going
Gatlinburg.
down to Gatlinburg,
Yeah.
and I know my wife's family they like to go and just mess around with it. So
Yeah.
I might just take my bag with me and just go fiddle around on a course somewhere.
First
Yeah.
time my fiance's family found out I play actual disc golf, like so she got into it quick, but then they first found out about it, they're like, oh yeah, we used to always take actual frisbees and just throw at the baskets at Mountwood. I'm like, well, here's my bag of 25 discs, so
Yeah.
putter to driver and everything. They're like, oh my gosh. See, like first time I ever did anything with them, they had some frisbees in the
Here's
trunk
my
of their
bag,
car.
and then here's my closet that I've
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
350 more of.
Don't look at the trunk.
Right.
Nobody knows, but no. But we went to Coonskin and had frisbees that someone had in the trunk, and then it was like, I was like, oh, so that's your guys' disc. And it was funny because then they're like, man, you're serious about this? I'm like, yeah, I am.
just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I always laugh when someone, do you have any extra discs? few.
Depends.
Just a few.
Define extra.
Hey, who's
Yeah,
asking?
exactly. Well, they're never extra. It's like having an extra cigarette. They're never extra.
I have 12 buzzes, just as a backup though.
Right? Oh, too fun.
Stadium Field Putting Party, June 5th, $25. You're
Yeah.
gonna take home more than $25 worth of stuff.
Yeah,
For
that's
sure.
definitely the best part, for sure. You're coming, you're getting more than what you pay for, and a ton of fun. And you're having, like, do we have to pay for lunch?
Nope, it's free.
Oh my
You're
god!
gonna get
And you
$25
get
worth
lunch,
of food. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
right? So you get food, a T-shirt, a disc, $25. You're not gonna get that anywhere else, ever. And
And it's all going
that's
to a great
almost-
cause.
That's almost like the KVR where you sign up for $50 and get like 5 discs or whatever.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's all going to a
Yeah.
good cause. You know,
Yeah, it really is.
all the money's going straight back to them. Help pay for
Yeah.
getting Julian in charge of Tristan, getting the adoption
Yeah.
stuff taken care of, hospital bills,
Yeah.
funeral expenses, all this stuff. You know, there's,
Yeah.
you know, my stepdad passed away a little over a year ago, and I
Yeah.
know even after he was gone, just what kind of expenses my mom has. So
Yeah.
I know it's not done. I know that there's still a lot they need. So
Yeah.
You guys are doing a great thing, man.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get there.
Yep.
don't forget your heart.
That's right.
You still rocking the pig?
Oh yeah, I bought 4 new ones. The War Pigs. You
Oh,
seen those?
man, I
saw that.
4
Yeah.
of those. Julian,
I saw
I called or I saw him
Uh-huh.
online. I saw he put them online. I was like, oh god. How long ago was that? It was like 5 minutes. I was like, oh thank God. I messaged him directly. Julian, hey, I need like 4 of these. He was like, man, I only got like 6 left. Well, I want like 2 of these and 2 of these. If you got it, he's like, you're lucky. I do.
I haven't
I
thrown
was
a
like,
pig, but I saw
sweet.
that blood red one with the black and everything. I was
Yeah.
like, those are
Oh,
good
those are
looking,
so
man.
sweet, and they're domey.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
They look
they're-
sweet.
Oh, they do. I bought 4 because I'm throwing 2 of them and putting 2 on the wall
There you
probably.
go. Very nice.
Yeah. I would almost donate one, but you guys already have some really cool discs.
Oh, we got that covered. Actually,
I know, right?
Donations are great, but we want the people. That's what we need the people
Yeah.
at this point.
So at
Yeah.
this
That's what I
point,
think.
just
Yeah.
get people there. You know, we're almost to the goal of 50 I had. 90 would be great. There'd be
Yeah.
a lot of freaking people.
I'd love to see
I'm
I'm,
that.
I'm gonna need a lot more hot dogs if that's the
Yeah.
case. But
50 would be a great
fif-
balance.
50 is,
Awesome.
we had 30 last time.
15 more people.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
Let's
Yeah.
go.
that's
We'll,
easy.
we'll still
Yeah.
play if
Go
there's
people.
50 maybe.
I'll
so.
say,
Yeah.
if there's 50 people, we might have to sign up, and you don't want that. You know,
Awesome.
don't want the tournament directors also
home
playing.
course.
No.
That's home course.
Home
right there.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it,
see
guys.
ya
Thank
I really
this
appreciate
next
you coming.
weekend.
Yeah. See you next
Yes,
weekend.
absolutely.
We
Yeah.
appreciate you guys coming to Disc Golf Collective.
Thanks
and
for having us.
James got a couple pens for you.
Yeah. I
You're,
got all kinds
you're
of stuff
official
for you.
members now.
All right.
You don't
Awesome.
have to sign anything or.
Oh, one last thing, real
No-
quick
no
before you
contract?
hit that music. Don't forget, everybody, you can win this bag. Leave a
Yeah.
comment on any one of our videos.
We've been giving stuff away. If you
Yeah.
all you have to do is leave a comment. We've had 6 comments so far. So
Yep.
you guys come play too.
Lots more
Hey, I'll do
comments.
it right now.
Yep. Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, thanks for coming, guys.
Appreciate
appreciate
it. Thanks for having us, guys.
Jim and James Disc Golf Collective.
Awesome.
Stadium Field